Ever wonder why a carpenter's pencil is flat? Well, there's a reason for it, and we're going to talk about it right now. The first reason, I got my carpenter's pencils right here, and the first reason might be kind of obvious. So, a couple of carpenter's pencils here and a regular number 2 pencil that you used to see in school. Sorry if you're getting flashbacks. So we take these boards, and let's say you're on an incline like this. You take your regular number 2 pencil and you drop it, right off the roof. That's not good. But your carpenter's pencil, however, it stays right there. So you put it down, nice, and it's not going to go anywhere. But if you drop it, not going to go anywhere either. Here's a quick demonstration of one of the reasons why carpenter's pencils are flat and square the way they are. Regular number 2 pencil, broken so easy. These ones, not so much. You can hear them crack, and I could definitely break them, but that's about the same amount of pressure that I put on the number 2 pencil. They're thicker, they're easier to grab when they're in your pocket, and way easier to grab if you have gloves on or something. Trying to dig this out of your pocket is a nightmare, but this is easier to grab, and if it's in your pocket, you're on a job site, you're bumping into things, hitting walls and stuff, and throwing tools on top of these, and they're just much more durable because of the shape. You can get a much thicker lead in here. That also allows you to shape the leads to make a fine point or to make a thicker point for different types of markings. And I'm gonna have to challenge other YouTubers out there that have made this statement, but it's also a useful thing. And I have 3 pencils here, okay? 3 different carpenter's pencils. And I've seen people say that these are exactly a 1/2 inch by 1/4 of an inch. So 1/4 of an inch this way and a 1/2 inch this way. I have to call them out and say that that's not actually true. And the only one I found that's exactly true to a 1/2 inch and 1/4 of an inch is this Irwin straight line pencil. So if you take these, it's gonna be hard to see, but let's take a Home Depot versus an Irwin, and you can see there's a little orange showing there. The signature Home Depot orange, which means this is actually wider. I measured this to be exactly a 1/2 inch. As you can see, whereas this one is more like 5/8. Again, hard to see, but regardless of these being different sizes and people claiming that they're all the same, I don't think they are. Here's an example. The Home Depot pencil is thicker. Regardless of that, I think they're a great way to kind of get a rough estimate. Say this is tile, and you want to know, like, you want to lay all your tile out before you actually glue it down. You can kind of space it and get an idea. Okay, that tile's going right there. That's about 1/4 of an inch. Same with this one. You know, line it all up. I wouldn't bet your life on this being 1/4 of an inch or a 1/2 of an inch, but it's a good way to have something in your pocket that you know is going to be the same measurement, and you can kind of line everything up with that. Another thing is scribing. So you can cut these in a bunch of different ways. So I've cut this one to have like a very blunt point to it, and I've cut this one for scribing. What scribing is you take a board like this. So let's say this is your floor and this is your wall, and you know that your floor is kind of wacky where it goes up and down like mine does. You can take your piece of baseboard that you're gonna cut in there, and say there's a gap on the bottom here. There actually isn't, but if I hold it up like this, let's say your floor is that off, you can take your pencil that you've cut to scribe and hold it like this, and scribe that, and then you would take this and rip that down and put it down and make it nice and even to the floor. Now here's the best thing about carpenter's pencils, in my opinion. You have your regular number 2 pencil. I'm gonna be honest with you, anytime I do finish work, I have one of these behind my ear, in my hat, however you wanna carry it around. And for making marks, it's perfect. Makes a nice small line. You sharpen this with a pencil sharpener, and it's gonna make a nice fine line every time. And for finish work, it's perfect. The thing about carpenter's pencils is you can decide for yourself what kind of line you want to make. So let's say with this scribe tool, or this pencil that I made into a scribe tool, you're going to have something similar to the number 2 pencil and have a very fine line. But you can also cut your pencil to have a very thick lead or graphite. In this case, you don't use lead anymore. That's no good. So if you're framing, you can, mark that real quick. Yep, you're good. All set. And if you have something like a rough surface, let's say like a brick, and you want to make a mark with your number 2 pencil, well, let's make a mark. And you see how it is now. Make a mark, and guess what? The graphite is gone from this thing. However, if you have your carpenter's pencil, you can see what you got there now. Make a mark. Good. Make a mark. Good. Make a mark. 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 And you still have plenty of material there to keep marking on brick or rough surfaces, like I said, if you're framing or any of that. Now, a little bonus tip for you, how to sharpen a carpenter's pencil. They actually have pencil sharpeners for carpenter's pencils, and I don't think it's not that big a deal. You can just grab a utility knife, and again, I've seen videos where people really get into how to sharpen pencils, but I don't think it's a big deal. You just want a sharp knife and a pencil, and just start kind of whittling away at this. And then you expose the lead here, expose the lead on the other side. It depends on what kind of lead you want. I'll do a really blunt end, and then shave it on the sides, expose the lead, and that right there works. That's you're gonna be able to mark stuff. If you want, so that's a really blunt edge. If you want, you can shave this down like this, nice and easy, and make a really fine line or fine edge to this to be able to make a fine line. Look at how fine that is, even compared to a number 2 pencil. So to summarize, the reason for a carpenter's pencil being flat and a square shape the way it is you can get a thicker lead in the pencil so that you can shape it to be either a rough marking device, a thin marking device, a scribing tool. Much easier to grab than a number 2 pencil, much stronger, and you can use it even for measuring, though not perfectly, in my opinion. And also, it'll not roll on an incline. So hopefully you found that interesting and you learned something that you didn't know before. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more content like this, you can click here and here-ish. Go check out my channel for tons more home repair content, and check out the links in the description. I have a Patreon page that helps support this channel, and my Facebook and Instagram is in there as well. And give this video a like. You have no idea how much it helps my channel. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.